friends, welcome to the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 143. My name is Lori. I live in Chicago suburbs with my husband Ryan, and I love to crochet and I love to knit. And you can find all of that yarny goodness on my social media, which is linked down below in the description box. So my Instagram, my Ravelry, my email is there. Also, all the patterns that I talk about, I will link down below. And any of the fancy yarns that I talk about, I will also link down there as well. So welcome. How have you been? I am doing much better. I still have a cough, so no guarantees that this will be a straight shot through the whole video because I'm still coughing, and it really only is triggered when I'm talking. So anyway. But yes, so last Saturday, so a week ago from today, we had our 5K at work. If you're new, welcome. I work for a nonprofit. It's a school for children with disabilities, and then we also have a day program for adults with disabilities. And I work in the fundraising department, so our events that help raise money is part of my job as well. So, but event planning is not my thing. Thankfully, I have a team to help me. Actually, I help them now. It's their thing. I've kind of pushed it off to them. But I'm the one that counts and collects and keeps track of all the money. So it was our most successful 5K we have ever had at Elam. I'm very excited about that. We raised over $40,000, and all of that money will go straight to the school. Some of it will go to the adult services, but majority of it is going to the school. Basically, I collect all of their wish list items, and so this week we're actually going to go through the list and decide what we're going to take care of and what we can't. But I'm pretty sure we can get most of it, so that's great. But yeah, it was a cold day. I mean, so cold. Like we had these really cute 5K logo t-shirts. Like our theme was Wizard of Oz, so it was a really cute logo. Yeah, I had my coat on the whole time. Nobody could see my t-shirt. Or that, because we usually have the committee has a different color t-shirt from everybody else. Couldn't tell that I was on the committee because I was bundled up, hat, everything. Like, gotta stay warm. And with setup and then monitoring everything and cleanup, I did a 5K myself, and I didn't even step foot on the course. It was all just around the school. Yeah, it was a long day, but it was a good day. It was a really good day. And then this week I was busy with helping with other people. We had a big conference at our, like a church leadership conference. I don't even know what the conference was. They just kept saying the Cork conference, and I was like, that means nothing to me. I don't know what that means. It's something with the Reformed Church. But like we had to make sure like food was ready, and when they're done eating, take it out of the conference room and, divvy up leftovers, all of that. So like we didn't really get to clean up from the 5K until Tuesday afternoon. So, and then Wednesday, do we have a lot to do? I can't remember. We had meetings all day. And Thursday all the other ladies in my office, they took their day remote. They had their remote day on Thursday. And then they were off on Friday. They decided to take their comp day from working last Saturday and be off Friday. I'm saving my comp day for Ryan and I are taking a little trip. So I'm saving that for another day. So I was in the office by myself on Thursday until the afternoon. Came home to finish the day at home just because I was tired. I was tired of being in that building. I had worked 6 days straight the week before. It's like I'm done. And then I was remote yesterday. But Thursday, since I was home, Ryan took a half day. And he was going to be driving down to Bourbonnais for to help with Bible quizzing tournament. And but he stopped by the house. He was going to grab like a snack and a drink to take with him. And when he walked in, he had his phone in his hand and it was on, and like it was like a video thing, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, they're about to announce the new pope. And I was like, oh, okay. So we stood at the kitchen table, so it's like I will always remember where I was when the new pope was announced. And it was funny. We like, so the one cardinal came out, did his whole announcement in Latin, which we had no idea what he was saying. Could pick out some words just from, biology classes and stuff. But not really. And then we heard the announcer, the newscast. They're just like, oh, wow, historic day, an American Pope. And we just kind of looked at each other like, well, that's cool. And then, born in Chicago. And for some reason, we looked at each other and we high-fived. Like, yeah, we got a Chicago Pope. But it's like, what? We're not Catholic. We're like, why are we so excited about this? But it's like, it's where we live. It's come out since then that, he grew up in a suburb not far from here in Dalton. I'm like, he went to seminary in the same town that my parents live in. And he's a White Sox fan, which maybe he can say a little extra blessing over them. Yeah, so maybe he can say an extra blessing over them to help them win. But yeah, it was very exciting for us. And I was saying, like, I remember John Paul II. And I just always felt like he looked like a kind man. And I was like, I've always, he was Pope when I was born. So he was the one that I knew most of my life. Sorry. Trying not to cough on you guys. And then Benedict, I was like, didn't feel one way or the other. But Francis, I really liked Francis. And like, I was really upset when he passed away. But then when, Pope Leo the 14th comes out, and I took a screenshot of it, and I was like, I sent it to Ryan because he was driving. I was like, here he is. I was like, he looks kind. And it's like, I feel like that's what we need in this world nowadays. Things are crazy. So yeah. So an American Chicago-born Pope who's a White Sox fan. And yeah. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, first a drink. And now on with the yarny goodness. Shall we get started with that? I've been blabbing for 10 minutes already. Finished object number 1 is another crocheted iconic woman. You've heard me talk about her before. It's Hypatia. Oh my gosh, look at her. Look at how cute she is. So let's scoot back so you can see her. Let me show you. Anyway, so this is Hypatia of Alexandria. She was a philosopher, a scholar, a teacher, an astronomer, just a brainy kind of gal, even back then. And I'll put a link to the podcast episode about her that the History Chicks did. There's also a movie about her. I've never watched it because her death is not good. So I will warn you about that. The way she died it's not good. So, but yes, I have loved Hypatia ever since I first listened to that podcast about her. Like, I just think she's an awesome woman. And now I have my own little version of her that will go in my cabinet right here with all the other ladies. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. So that is from, this pattern is More Crochet Iconic Women by Carla Vetrani. I started the next lady, so I don't have my bookmark on her pattern. Hold on. Oh, that's not her. There she is. Okay. So here's Carla's version. Yeah, so she usually has a quote in here by the lady. So Hypatia's quote is, "Reserve your right to think, for even to think wrongly is better than not to think at all." And life is an unfoldment, and the further we travel, the more truth we can comprehend. I think those are pretty cool. I like those. And she's a really cool lady, so I highly recommend listening to her story. Or finding a book and reading about her yourself. So, yes, Hypatia is done, and I'm so excited that she's done. Finish object number 2 was not long. It was not long after I recorded. Actually, I think it was, I recorded on a Saturday. That next Sunday, I finished. They were living in my Disney cat bag with this cute Space Kitty pin on it. These are the Ada socks by Caroline Corley. The yarn that I used, I still have it in the skein coat. So this is the color. It is RMR yarn. It is RMR yarn in their fingering sock base, which is 75-25, and the colorway Para G. Oh my goodness, I am all of a sudden coughing like crazy. Here is the yarn. You can see it much better without this skein coat on it. I look at this and I think of strawberries for some reason. I'm gonna drink. Anyway, yeah, it just made me think of strawberries. So I paired it with this red. This is Valley Yarns Huntington colorway red, 75-25. Pretty basic sock yarn. Thought that went really well together. Now that these are done, I can put this with my Christmas socks that I want to make. It's perfect Christmas red. But you want to know about the Ada socks. Here they are. Oh my gosh. I did cuff down socks this time. Whoa. Okay, so last time you saw, I was here. And I just had a couple more repeats and then the toe. Let me tell you, the Kitchener stitch, not a fan of that at all. But it looks so sloppy. But it doesn't matter because it's on the tip of my toe. Nobody's gonna see it. So yeah, I always do my socks 2 at a time. This was no different. So anyway, I did not do the heel from the pattern. I did the shadow wrap heel, and I split it in half. So because that's kind of how it was on the pattern. The top half was the same color as this stripe, and then the bottom half was the same color as this stripe. So I really like how that turned out. I thought that looked really cool. So yeah, now that I've shown you, I can wear these now. I'm so excited. I just think they are so cute. Sorry, I had to take a little break. Get a cough drop. Hopefully you can hear me around this cough drop. Is it helping me? Not much, but I just put it in. Anyway, make some progress. Shall we continue? So I have 4 make some progress right now. Another one, first one I'm going to talk about is another Crochet Iconic Woman. I just really want to get all these ladies done from this book. And I have 2 more that were on my list that are not a pattern in any of the books that Carla has put out. This is the second book, I should say. Anyway, so, let me drop. So the lady I'm currently working on, I'm not going to show you until she's done. And plus, I'm doing it totally different from the pattern. But Dolly Parton. Oh my gosh. She's so cute. But yeah, I figured Dolly needs to be in a sparkly dress, right? That is how I picture Dolly Parton. So I have some sparkly yarn. That's what I've been using for her. So I'm very excited about that. My other crochet project that I'm working on was a finished object. And when I finished it, it was like, I'm not a fan of this. So it just kind of sat. Did I even put it away with my clothes? I think I did. I was like, I'm not going to wear this. So anyway. And so I decided, you know what? I need to fix it because I spent all that time working on this sweater. It's a cardigan. I want it to look nice on me. So, in this bag, in my Jolly Holiday bag, is the Cosmic Dust cardigan by the Crafty MD. Basically, my problem was the sleeves. Oh, the yarn that I am using the yarn from Joanne. When I got it, it was already being discontinued, so even if Joanne was still around, you still couldn't get this yarn. But it's Eddie Bauer Cozy Camp. So it's 100% recycled acrylic, and the colorway is Carbon. Yeah, so let's see. I think the last time I talked with you, I had already pulled out the sleeves, and I had done a couple rows on the sleeve, and now this is how far I've gotten on this sleeve, and this sleeve is not much. It is not even more than that, but I'm kind of working on the sleeves concurrently. There we go. So that way I can make sure that they are matching. Because you don't want mismatching sleeves. But I will say, so I had them in this yarn bowl, or the balls of yarn, both balls were in there, and I grabbed the bag to take it up to upstairs for just to clean up the room, and I was like, why is it so hard to move this? That's because I left the balls of yarn that were attached to my sweater in the yarn bowl down here. So here's a video of me going through the house with this yarn. Yeah, it was insane. Yeah, I have never had that happen to me before. So anyway, but here's the cardigan. So I have to get through 24 rows on the sleeve, and then the cuff is similar to what the hem looks like, which is hard to see in this yarn, but I know it's there. Hold on. Are you guys seeing? There's a line here, and there's a line here. From different dye lots. Great. Never noticed that before. Oh well. It'll be what it is. That's just how it's gonna be. So yeah. So Dolly Parton, Cosmic Dust, those are my crochet items. My knitting items, I'm very excited to show you. So we'll start with this one. I'm living in my Chicago Yarn Crawl bag. I'm calling this my Cruise Doodle Cowl because I'm using elements from Pacific Knit Co. Her name is Jamie. It is basically, she has all these charts for color work, and you can mix and match and make it how you want it to be. So I bought her travel doodle pack. I did the digital version. She does have little cards. So I just kind of put together my own little chart. Well, my own little pattern from her charts. And so of course I did the cruise ship, waves, and then I took the sunset from the farm pack. And I'm going to do the sunset a bit differently than what's on here, but trust me, you'll see it all. But yeah, so that's what that looks like. I've definitely been working on like making sure that my color work is good, making sure my floats are great. So somebody had commented, I don't remember who it was, but they said you should look at videos of people knitting inside out, because that can kind of help with your floating too. If your floats are going on the outside, it kind of helps them be where they need to be. Does that make sense? So I watched a couple of videos on that, and then I also learned a new technique, which is called, well, it's new to me because I'm learning my, hello? Yep. Rude. Anyway, So a new to me technique is called the ladder back jacquard. And I will link the videos that I've watched. I don't remember who did it. There's one lady, she did both that I've learned off of. So a ladder back jacquard is just a way to carry your float, like anchor your floats periodically throughout. Especially if you've got a long section of just one color, you can anchor the other color kind of behind it. Like, it is so cool. So the yarns that I'm using is Barocco Lannis Light. It's 100% wool. This is the colorway 78132, which is Lagoon. And then I am using a pack of minis. Do I have the... No. Yes, I do. So Lannis Light mini color pack in the colorway Cool Beach. Again, this is the same one. So I have aquamarine, lavender, of course. This one is Tides. And this one is, still the ball band. This one is grapefruit. So, this is how my cowl is looking. So here you can really see like the inside out way it looks. And you can see my ladders here. Like, oh, those look so cool. I'm so excited about this. But what you really want to see is how it's supposed to look. And here we go. So, I'm really disappointed that this doesn't pop more for the waves. I used the Tides. And then I made it a purple cruise ship. Yeah, I am. Look at how cute that looks. And honestly, it really didn't take me that long to get through them. So, and I was listening to a book on audio as I was working on these the other day. It's Patricia Fisher, Ship Detective. So she's a detective on a cruise ship, investigating murders on a cruise ship. Yeah, so I've done the first book, and then the second book was Fitness Can Kill. Those were good books, let me tell you. I highly recommend those. Steve Higg is the author, just in case you know. But let's talk about my needle stoppers here. Rainbow Bright. So my cousin, Tiffany, hi Tiffany, got these for me, and I just love her so much. Rainbow Bright was one of my favorite toys back in the 80s. Yeah. So it's fun having those on a very fun project for me. So yeah. Okay, last knit project. Living in my twice sheared sheep bag with a pin that says eat, sleep, knit, repeat. Because yeah, that's what I do. So in here are I call them my Ruby Slouch Socks, because my friend's daughter Ruby had these really cool socks on, and I was like taking pictures of them, and then I'm gonna try to do that myself. So let me show you. Well, first let's talk about the yarn. So the main color, living in this sock, it's in my hero sock. My cousin had lived in South Korea, and he bought these socks for Ryan. Ryan never wore these. One, they were too small. Mostly because they were too small. But anyway, so it's just holding my yarn together. This is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering. Hand painted. This is the Gumball colorway. This is 75-25, I believe. Yes. Isn't that pretty? I love all those fun colors. It is not a self-striping. They are very short colors. So not even a whole stripe of this. The other colors that I have, this is Valley Yarns Huntington, again in the colorway Spring Green. This, I believe, is Lang Jia Wool. Forget the colorway name. I bought this. This was in my stash, as well as this. And then at YarnCon, I bought, these two are attached. I bought these two colors. These are from Leading Men Fiber Arts. Of course, you're not going to see that. And they're Showstopper Mini Skein 75-25. We have the colorway Papaya and Sunny Side Up. And so, like I said, my socks are always 2 at a time. They're always toe up. That is how I always like to make my socks. Even when the pattern calls for cuff down, I do toe up because I just like it. So my patterns always end up upside down from, especially like there was one that was like a fan thing. So instead of going this way, it went this way. But I don't care. However, I was very excited to get to the slouch part of the socks. Like I wanted to make sure I could get it to look right. And I mean, I like them. I'll just put it that way. I like how they look. So here are my socks so far. I have a cute little kitty stitch marker marking. This is the first sock. Oh yeah, I had done some problems I had some problems with the cuff on this one, so I was like, this side will be the back side. So I need to remember that when I put my heels in. So here are my socks so far. So when they're stretched out nice, this is what they look like. And then when you let them go, they slouch on their own like this. So I did. So basically I started with the cuff. I did 5 rows of ribbing because I was just so excited to get to the slouch part. And then I wanted to do some regular stockinette so I could see how the stripes looked with the yarn. And then I got to the first slouch, trying to figure out how, I was like, how does this go? Does it need to be garter stitch? But actually it's reverse stockinette is really all it is. So I watched a video on techniques to improve how fast you knit and how fast you purl, which I really want to work on my purling. So this will give me that opportunity because it's 10 rows of purling. Yeah, so actually it's only 8 rows of purling because I do a little bit of stockinette. I just do something. I don't know what I was doing. I was like, let's just try this, see how this goes. So yeah. So there are my socks so far. This one I split into 2. Can't find the other one. There it is. I split into 2 because these will be the heels and the toes. And then the other 3 colors will be the slouch part of my socks. I had this with me today. I was halfway through this section here. So I got halfway through that and then started the next colors. I had a meeting this morning, missions meeting, so it was fun just to sit there and knit and listen. So, those are all my projects. Finished, making in progress. I have not started the In the Garden shawl, which I was wanting to start soon. But I thought I could get the sleeves done so much faster on this, on the Cosmic Dust. I thought I could get the sleeves done so much faster, but when you're counting every row to make sure you have the same amount, it takes forever. Takes forever. I still feel like the tickle. So that is all I want to share with you today. That is all I have to share with you today. I will say in 2 weeks I will be having oral surgery. I'm having my wisdom teeth removed, finally. So I doubt I'll want to record on a Saturday. So I was thinking I might do like a week of making kind of vlog style thing until I go to get my wisdom teeth out, which I'm nervous about. I've had a tooth removed before and it was fine. Okay, sorry, horn down the street. After the medication wears off, that's when it really hurts. And I remember we were driving up to Michigan to see my family like the day after, and I felt every bump in the interstate. So yeah, I'm anxious about it, but I know it'll be so much better once they're out. So if you could say a prayer for that, I'd appreciate it. And with that, I will, like I said, I might do a weekly vlogging thing. I'm not sure. We'll see what I feel like doing leading up to that. So with that, I will see you later. God bless. Bye.